Hey guys, I am super excited for today's video. I have the NATASHA DENONA Safari palette. This is her latest 15 pan release. It is all mattes and it is beautiful. So if you are interested in hearing my thoughts on this palette, see some swatches, watch a demo of this eye look, then just keep on watching. So the NATASHA DENONA Safari palette, this is a 15 pan all matte palette. I purchased this off of Beautylish the night that it was released, and I just received it. Well, it was over a weekend, so it took about a total of 5 days, so maybe 3 shipping days, and it was packaged beautifully. Thank you very much, Beautylish. They just do the best job when it comes to packaging. It came in like this cardboard, like aerated cardboard packaging surrounding it, and then it was like, you know, surrounded by tissue paper. Anyway, it came safe and sound, no issues. Here is the packaging of the palette. Sorry, my grubby fingerprints are all over it already, but it is very, very similar to the Tropic palette. It is hard plastic. The outer color is more matte than the Tropic palette. The Tropic palette was that blue, but it was like kind of like lacquered all over. And on the back, you'll notice you have like little pinholes so that you can pop each of the shadows out. Inside, we have a big mirror, and then here are the 15 all matte shades. When I first heard that NATASHA DENONA was going to be releasing an all matte palette, I was super excited. And then I feel like my excitement kind of started to dwindle. She started releasing kind of like sneak peeks of the shadow colors, and they didn't really speak to me, and I thought, oh, maybe this isn't for me. But as soon as they released pictures of the palette in its entirety and she started doing looks with it and posting them on Instagram, I got really excited. And so when I saw this color story, the first thought I had was, this is what I wanted Subculture to be, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. That palette didn't work out for me, unfortunately. I thought the color scheme was really unique at the time, and I just really, I love Anastasia Beverly Hills shadows, but the formula just didn't work for me. But since then, and I returned the palette, you know, there's been this kind of void for those kinds of shades, and I feel like NATASHA DENONA has sort of filled that void with this. I don't even know what to call it. I mean, I think Safari is a pretty accurate name for the color scheme in here. I wish there was a lot more green, or at least maybe another green, because this is a very, very cool toned kind of olive green, and it ends up being a little bit gray on my eyes, and that's actually what I have on my eyes today. You'll see it in the demo. Other than that, I feel like if I just didn't have like preconceived notions of what I want Safari to be, I wouldn't have even thought of it. I feel like that this color range, that, you know, it's one of those that I open up and I see, oh my gosh, you know, I can do like a really pretty kind of like nude eye look over here. I could get a little bit funkier with like this tribe color, the Savannah color. I could do like a very cool toned blue look over here. I can use some purples. Like, there's a lot you can do with this palette, and I love that. I love that about this palette. I love that it's all matte. It's a little bit out of my comfort zone. I think I'm very used to using, you know, mattes on my outer corner, a matte in my transition area, and then I always like to use like a satin or shimmer on my inner corner area, and like towards the center of my eyelid. I don't know if that's habit. I don't know if it's the way most palettes are laid out and that just calls for that, but this is a really nice, interesting departure from that. And I created this look obviously only using shadows from here, and I got to this inner corner part and I thought, oh, I'm like, oh, I really want like a pop, like a shimmer. And I thought, no, like, just stick with the mattes, like, see what you can do. And I really like it. You know, I'm someone that I like shimmer. I like a nice sheen to my skin. I like shimmer in my eyeshadow, but this was a really nice departure from that. And I think it's incredibly timely. Like, the release of this palette was perfectly timed. Fall is upon us. The matte trend is like back like crazy. I feel like every new lipstick release is matte. I can't seem to get away from it. Chanel just came out with that whole matte collection. Like, it is back like it is 1993 again. So I think the timing is great on this palette. So anyway, let's go ahead and swatch these shades. I'm gonna swatch them up and down and go from left to right. So I'm gonna start with Malia, Aya, and Lotus. These shadows are so creamy and buttery feeling. They're really, really impeccable. So there's Malia, Aya, and Lotus. Here is Fata Morgana, Thorn, and Amhara. Here is Rhino, Desert Date, and Maasai. And then next we have Stone, Shea, and Voodoo. And then last I have Savannah, Tribe, and Tamarind. And I've run out of room, so I'm going to swatch them up here. That was poor planning. Savannah, Tribe, and Tamarind. So I've played around with all of these shadows. I haven't made like a complete look with all of them, but the two that I haven't actually used is Stone and Malia, these two. The rest I've actually just kind of put on my eyelids and played around with, and just I wanted to make sure that all the different colors blended out nicely, and they do. You know, sometimes I feel like there's a purple in there that doesn't quite work, or the green doesn't quite work, but they all really are so buttery, so creamy. They blend out beautifully. Absolutely beautifully. Typical NATASHA Denona shadows. I think if you're a fan of her formula, specifically her matte formula, they very much remind me of what we saw in the Tropic palette, what we saw in the Lila palette, and even the Sunset palette. They're just so buttery and so smooth and creamy. They're just incredibly, incredibly creamy. So they blend like a dream. They're pigmented, so it's not like you have to keep going back and forth and back and forth. It's like one dip of the brush, you just kind of like pat it, and then you just blend it out and you're good. They're just stunning. And I just wanted to hold this up next to the Camel palette. So the Camel palette is a 5-pan palette that she released right before this one. I think these are an excellent sort of pairing to have for one another, especially if you want a little bit of like shimmer. You've got that in the Camel palette, but I think they make like a very nice like complementary little team there. So obviously I am in love with this palette. I think it's wonderful. I love the options that it gives you. I love the quality of it. I love the timing of this release. I mean, everything about it. The packaging is great. Everything about it is like a big, big 2 thumbs up for me. So let's go ahead and jump into my demo. So I'm going to start with this Aya color. It's the second one down all the way on the left. I'm just using a fluffy blending brush, and I'm just going to sweep that all over my lids. And in case I didn't mention before, I do have some of the new NARS tinted smudge proof eyeshadow base down in the shade Light. Next, I'm going to take another blending brush. I'm going to go into this color Tamarind down here in the bottom right hand corner, and I'm going to just start to deepen my socket crease area and the outer corner of my eye. I'm actually going to change brushes to this Wang Goss number 16 brush. I just cleaned this Tom Ford, but I did like a spot clean, and I think there's some like kind of sparkly shadow left over. So I'm seeing sparkle in my eyes, and I didn't want that to come across to you guys because these are all very matte. So anyway, I'm going to go back in with this Wang Goss brush, and I think actually that'll work to my advantage for what I want to do. I just really want to lay down one kind of blown out color there. That blending is like perfection. Totally, totally effortless. All right, next I'm going to go into the Savannah shade, which is this like olive green kind of color. I'm going to use my Hakuhodo J5523 brush, and I'm just going to tap it in there and then just pat it onto my outer corner here. Not quite as high as where I have the Tamarind. A little bit lower, a little bit more concentrated further down towards the lash line. And once I'm done patting, I'm just going to sweep the brush over to blend it in. I'm bringing this darker Savannah color over towards like my inner corner here. I'm just kind of using like windshield wiper motions just along the top there. And then I'm going to go into this shade here, Amhara, which is like a peachy salmon kind of color. I'm going to go back to this original fluffy blending brush and just going to tap that in and put this onto the inner corner of my eye and bring it in towards the Savannah color. I'm going to go back into the Savannah color with my flat shader and just blend out all of these colors a little bit. I'll probably have to go back in with the tamarind to blend out the top edge, but I'm just going to start here and make sure I have Savannah as deep as I want it and then blend it towards the Amhara color. And then back into tamarind to just blend everything together and make sure all the edges are soft. Next, I'm going to take this shea color here. I'm going to use my pencil 2 brush from Sonia G and line my upper lash line, and I'll probably just move to a smaller pencil brush and line my lower lash line. All right, so that's it for the eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my look with some eyeliner and mascara and actually put on the rest of my face. I don't have any like cheek products on and obviously no lipstick. So I will be right back. All right, and here is my final look. I'll have all the details of what I have on my face down below in my description box. I hope you liked this video and this demo. I really, really love this palette, and it was about time that she came out with an all matte palette. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.